These markets have been beating me up, but I've been able to find a way to end the day green and win more days than not, but it's definitely not easy, and I'm leaning way more into my discretion, and I want to show you how I maneuver through these markets with all the whipsaw price action and the unpredictability as it seems to be at an all-time high. So you can see I have 3 trades. I took the first 2 on stream, and they're textbook. We'll go over the first one here. I need to be in this setup. If anyone's seen my course, it's on ASFX TV, Futures 2.0. This is textbook. We had a bearish open come in. I preach all the time not to chase the first break of opening range low because they often don't run, or if they do, not very far. So we let that go. We don't take that. It then pulls back. See if sellers can defend this New York VWAP, which they do beautifully. And then I'm going to take the second leg out to continue this bearish trend we had here at the open. I'm just now going to get the next leg of it. And we even break outside the opening range low. Another part of that strategy is the entry down here on a break of low a day VWAP, saying sellers are 100% back in. So I need to be in this setup. I'm not upset at the loss at all. It's almost like surprising that it lost because it's just so clean, it's so repeatable, and it's what's been feeding me my payouts and my high win rate because it's the most simple setup that I have. And really, when it's in a clean trending market, it does behave very well. But since it wasn't trending today or very lately, trend is kind of disappearing, changing, coming back. Obviously, we're not going to see as many winners because it's just not trending like it used to. So I'm not upset at the loss. I need to be in this because you always have to ask yourself, if I see this present and I don't take it and it just rips for a new low a day, why wasn't I in that? What's going to be my excuse of why I wasn't in that? I'm going to be pretty upset because there's nothing really that could have been better about it. It's in line with the trend. All VWAPs are above me. It's textbook. So you always have to say, yeah, loss, that sucks. But if it would have won and I wasn't in it, I'd be way more pissed than taking it and losing. We could just look at other markups here before we get into the other trades I took today. This is just other trades, part of my strategy. The same thing, not chasing this first break outside open range low. Sellers defend it, build the lower high, take the second break outside. There goes trend back to the downside. Let's look at another one. Big rip outside. First break outside open range low. Sellers defend the New York VWAP over here. There's the break of low a day VWAP. Let's go continue trend. I'm not crazy. Obviously, there's going to be losers, but it's just funny how often I'm finding more and more losers where it just seemed to be so hot. This was the setup. Definitely, it's textbook still, though. Not chasing this first break. Seller or buyers, in this case, defend this New York VWAP, creating the higher low. Let's go continue trend. So if you haven't seen this strategy, that's pretty part of it. But yeah, today's trade, I need to be in it because it looks the exact same to the downside. And then after that, I don't just jump right back into the shorts because you can see we actually come back higher. The trend clearly didn't continue to the downside. So I'm not going to just force another short way up here above the New York VWAP. Although it could be still making a lower high from back here, I still need more information that sellers are going to step back in and ready to move us lower. But they never give us that hint. You can even see these lower day VWAP breaks over here. Not able to break it. Not able to break it. Sellers aren't able to step in. So I said to myself I wasn't going to trade inside of this 15-minute opening range. These black horizontal lines, it's the first 15 minutes of the New York Open. That's the highest price and the lowest price. I said I'm done trading within there because that's where I've been getting beat up, especially at like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. If we're within this range, it's not a great sign of trend because we should be well outside this levels if it's been moving in trend for the first hour or so of the day. That just logically makes sense. And you can see here, since we haven't left that price level and we're still in this range at 11 o'clock, yeah, there's no trend. We're completely sideways. We're where we started the day back here at 9:30 open. I'm longing at pretty much the same price, but almost 2 hours later. Clearly no trend, but I'm using my discretion of saying, well, the shorts are really just, they disappeared. I sold it down here and trend could not continue at all. We're actually now above the New York VWAP and buyers are respecting it and not giving it back to the sellers. And the more and more that they do that, logically I'm saying, yeah, I can still see this coming lower because we're still maybe making lower highs from back here. But the most unobvious things aren't working out, as this probably wants to still come lower. It's I got to read and react. Sellers aren't working. My trend says it could still want to fall, but let me just long it here because that's telling me what it's probably going to do next because of just how much these sellers are struggling. And thankfully I got in that right at the right time because you can see it pops in like 3 minutes after my entry and I got out at the opening range high and left a little bit of profit on the table because it was a strong push. I could have maybe trailed the stop on this one, but that's fine. Made back the loss from this original short. So now we're break even on the day. And then it still turned into a choppy mess. We can even look over here on the trading view. There's the first short. Here's the second long. And then it just turns into nothing. Just sideways again. What is this price action? we're in the range again. We're in the same 15-minute opening range. Now at 12:30, we're still playing around it at 1:30. Get me out of these levels if we are indeed trending. We still haven't made a new low a day yet. And that high day up here clearly didn't hold from my long back here. So what is going on? Just very whipsawy and no real clear direction, right? You could be, let's rewind it here, I guess. At this point, maybe even, you'd be saying, is this going to build a higher low from this low a day and we still come higher? I mean, yeah, nothing's off the table. It definitely could. But just what has it been telling you? It's kind of tough to read what it's been telling you. Okay, so sellers came in at the open. They didn't hold very long. Then buyers consolidated and then they popped, gave it right back to the sellers. And now we're just sitting sideways. What does that mean? What does that mean we go next? I don't know. You don't know. And no one certainly knows more than ever that we don't know that next move. So it really is just trying your best to get a good price as close to these VWAPs, right? You can get a retest off the New York, another close one here. Or like I said, just wait for a new low a day. Wait for new information. Since it is still chopping down here at the low a day, let it break it. Break the new low, look for a retest, and then we'll find more shorts. So it's really just tough to just sit on your hands. I know you're bored. I know you want to predict where this is eventually going to go. But if I just clear all this stuff off, it's very indecisive and it's very choppy within this range. My third trade then comes on the big push down when Powell starts speaking, clearly setting in some bearish sentiment as we clearly left the station. Now we broke for new lows, and all you're doing is just waiting for a pullback, break of low a day VWAP. There's the trend continuation. It's pretty much the same idea I took at the open. This one's just not quite off a key level, but it's the same thing. Sellers are in. Let me not chase the lowest price. Let it pull back. And then once sellers step back in, they're telling me they're stepping back in because of this low a day VWAP break, then I'll get back in and try to catch the next piece of trend. And if it does trend like it did here, you will win. You will make money. I did the same idea here in the morning, but since it did not continue trend, obviously I don't make money. So the setup is the same. It's just all about timing and the market conditions of that day. I wasn't wrong for wanting to sell it either. I think it was a very good short. It fits my plan. I'm not upset about it. It's just the shorts don't work until 2:30 in the afternoon. So it's really unpredictable more than ever, I would say. I'm not trying to scare anybody and say you can't trade, but I'll admit it. This price action is very, very gross and very difficult to try to get a read on. Is this going to hold as higher lows? Are these lower highs on top? Why are we just consolidating here so slowly? What was that pop? And then why did we just melt down slowly but surely? I mean, the list goes on and on. But hopefully you made money some way or another. Like I said, we can go over back to these markups. There's this one. I think we said this one. We went over that one. This is just the textbook setup. Another note, another to setup. Part of the plan. New high a day outside the open range high. Not taking it. It goes up a little bit higher. Pulls back to New York VWAP. Buyers defend it. I'll take the second attempt out of this zone, and it goes and continues trend. So you can see it right there that if you took this loss today with me on stream on the short side, clearly it was the right play to be in because we've seen it work out so many times more than not that, like I said, if you weren't in it and it had run without you, you would have been sitting there like, what the hell? Why wasn't I in that? That was so clean. I marked that up every day. That's the play to be in. And like I'm saying, this is all in the Futures 2.0 course here. I went over some of the bounce plays and some of the break plays in these chapters 8, 9, and 10. I think they're all, like this one's a bounce play. How I'm shorting it before it takes out this lower day view up and breaks it, right? That would be the break play. As well as this would be a break play. If it breaks the lower day VWAP, it's a break. If you're getting it before that, off of a bounce of like a New York VWAP, there's the bounce setup. But yeah, not a bad day. P&L wise, but definitely structurally wise. Able to make $1,000 on my top one futures account. If you need an account, they're still running 50% off. And if you're watching this after that sale runs out, it's always going to get you the best deal. But yeah, I made a loss, then back to break even, and then a nice $1,000 win on that last trade because there was lots of momentum in it in the afternoon. So hopefully you guys made some money this afternoon, like I said. And it's kind of being the theme because now, like when we just clean up all the charts, one thing I skipped over, I guess I could go over real quick, is this blue VWAP, the light blue. It's a handoff from when we actually started to jump and leave with some volatility from Powell speaking. Because if you remove that, not that it's a bad thing, but you're nowhere near New York VWAP. And you're probably not going to get a pullback to it and still find a short. If you've seen my other YouTube videos, I want it off a key level, specifically the New York VWAP, like I took in my original short. But just you got to use your logic sometimes. Are we going to pull back to that? I mean, we could. But, I mean, that's pretty far. There's a lot of volatility to the downside. I'm not going to probably get that as a level I want to use today. What other level could I potentially use? Well, I'm looking into the handoffs during this volatile market. If I anchor to there, hand it off from when we left there, and like I said, you can maybe get some other levels to play off of. Okay, well, there's our New York VWAP retest if you just treat it like that, right? Retest off a key VWAP, break of lower day VWAP saying sellers are back in after the pullback is done, and then you short it. And then you continue the trend even lower. So I'm playing with that, the handoffs, especially on these ones that do move so far from New York. You're not going to have any other levels to really play off of. And if you need to be off a key level to get in a trade, you kind of need to study these handoffs so that you can talk yourself into a solid setup. But even if you just go back to yesterday real quick, I try to make these daily videos on almost all the days. But I mean, you look at this trade yesterday. I don't know what this one is, but if we rewind it real quick, it's very sideways. Obviously, this is probably where the main lesson came from of I am not trading it inside this 15-minute zone. Not touching it, not chasing it higher, not chasing it lower. If it's in this 15-minute opening range, an hour after the open, call me when it's outside because I do not care. I don't trade it well inside. I want nothing to do with it. But I did it today to the upside, and it made some money. But that's definitely not what I should be doing or want to be doing. Consistently, it's still going to be the better setups are coming outside of that zone, just like my original short was, right? Originally, I was coming outside of that level, so we're good. But then once we're back inside it and trapped within it, I'm good. No thank you. And then we let it get outside, and now we can find some clean trending moves, right? So hopefully you guys found value in that. Again, Top 1 Futures is running a sale right now if you use code EVAN. Always feel free to reach out, leave a like, leave a comment. What videos you guys want to see? What are you guys struggling with the most? But I always appreciate you guys tuning in, leaving your comment and your feedback. Trade safe. Let me know if you need me. I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.